I'd trusted Olivia completely. 5 years together had convinced me our connection was solid, unshakable. Sure, we argued occasionally, small clashes that came with being a couple, but nothing that ever made me question us. Then one Thursday afternoon everything tilted. My phone buzzed, and the preview of her text made my stomach drop. "Hey, I'm thinking about taking a trip with Ryan next week. Just the two of us. Nothing big. Just a little getaway." Ryan. Her ex from college. The same guy I'd assumed was long out of the picture. I stared at the screen, stunned. This wasn't harmless. This was crossing a boundary I didn't even think needed to be spoken. I reread the message hoping I'd misunderstood, that there was some innocent explanation hiding between the lines. There wasn't. She wanted to go away with him, and expected me to treat it like it didn't matter. I didn't answer right away. My chest tightened, my mind spinning. Images of their past, laughing together, shared memories, old habits, flashed through my head. But beneath all of that, I knew I had to choose my response carefully. Not anger. Not desperation. Just calm, deliberate clarity. After a moment, I typed back. "If that's what you want, go ahead. Have a good trip." It looked composed, almost detached. But the words I kept to myself, hurt, disbelief, a sense of betrayal, hovered unspoken. I refused to hand her the emotional reaction she might have expected. My silence became its own message. The following days felt like a quiet storm brewing. Olivia picked up on it right away. She asked why I was withdrawn, why I wasn't joking or talking the way I usually did. I didn't answer at first, letting the tension hang between us. When she pushed again, sounding like she wanted me to feel guilty or beg for reassurance, I finally said, "I saw your message. If that trip means more to you than we do, I'm not going to stop you." Her lack of response said more than anything she could have typed. Normally she'd send a flood of explanations, excuses, or playful attempts to smooth things over. But this time, nothing. The silence made everything clearer. What she thought would be a casual getaway turned into a moment that revealed exactly where we stood. Hours later, she finally replied. "Are you really not going to tell me to call it off? Not even react?" Her voice shook with disbelief. "I've said everything I need to," I answered, each word deliberate. "The decision is yours." The silence that followed was thick. She had expected me to chase after her, to demand an explanation, to crack under the pressure she thought she could apply. But I didn't. I stayed steady, composed, unmoved. And in that stillness, something shifted. She began to recognize that trust isn't automatic, respect has weight, and boundaries aren't just suggestions. Saturday morning came. From a distance, I watched her gather her things, tension simmering in the space between us. She kept glancing at her phone, waiting for a reaction that never came. When the taxi arrived and she climbed in, her eyes met mine through the window. She searched for reassurance, for some sign from me. I only gave a small nod. My restraint, my quiet, it reached her more deeply than any outburst could have. The brief flicker of uncertainty in her expression told me so. She hadn't expected my silence to hold as firmly as it did. Hours later, her first message appeared, casual on the surface, but edged with unease. "You don't have to come. I just wanted to go. Everything's okay." I could read the truth between the lines. Nothing was okay. Her breezy tone was a thin cover for guilt, worry, and the realization that choices leave marks. That evening, I walked into the hotel. I didn't storm in or confront her with accusations. I simply moved through the lobby, letting the noise of the place fade until she finally noticed me. Whatever confidence she had tried to hold on to dissolved instantly. "Lucas, why are you here?" she whispered, her voice betraying her. "I needed to understand what this trip really meant," I replied softly. In that moment, all the boldness from her messages evaporated. She couldn't twist the situation, pretend nothing was wrong, or talk her way around it. The calm I had carried for days had already shifted the balance. We didn't fight. We didn't raise our voices. We didn't need to. The truth was already in the room with us, in the steadiness of my silence, in her expression, in everything left unsaid. Sometimes actions make the point more clearly than any speech ever could. It wasn't about payback. It wasn't about proving anything. It was clarity, letting her see that decisions matter, that trust is delicate, that respect has to be mutual. And standing there, in that quiet tension, I realized something simple but powerful. The strongest response is sometimes no response at all. Let someone confront the outcome of their own choices, and they'll learn far more than any argument might teach them.